Morning class, this is English time. For today we focus on reading and writing, and we'll be looking at folktales. What are folktales? A folktale or folktales, these are stories that are passed on from generation to generation. The stories that we hear when we are at the village and our grandparents, our parents are telling us, those are what we call folktales. Can also be described as stories in the oral tradition or tales that people tell each other that are out loud rather than stories in written form. So these are stories that are not in written form, but they are told out loud through the mouth. Every human society has its own kind of folktales. By this I mean these are well-known stories handed down between generations and are important in a way of passing out knowledge, information, and history. So these stories that we hear teach us something or tell us where we're coming from and give us a certain type of knowledge than the usual stories that we hear. So for today, I would like you to read, open your English workbook, page 44. You will see a story there, the man, the boy, and the donkey. I will read it out loud for you. When I've read it, listen carefully, and you should also read on your own in your various homes. When you've read it, read out loud so that you are able to pronounce the words correctly. And when you have read, please do answer the messages, do answer the questions on question 45. I'm starting to read. Extract 1. A man and his son were once going with their donkey to the market. As they were walking along by its side, a countryman passed them and said, "You fools, what is a donkey for but to ride upon?" So the man put the boy on the donkey, and they went on their way. But as soon they passed a group of men, one of whom said, "See that lazy youngster. He lets his father walk while he rides." So the man ordered his boy to get off and got on himself. But they had not gone far when they passed two women, one of whom said to the other, "Shame on that lazy lout to let his poor little son trudge along." Well, the man didn't know what to do. But at last he took his boy up before him on the donkey. By this time they had come to the town, and passers-by began to jeer and point at them. The man stopped and asked what they were scoffing at. The man said, "Aren't you ashamed of yourself for overloading that poor donkey of yours with yourself and your harking son?" The man and the boy got off and tried to think of what to do. They thought and they thought, until at last they cut down a pole, tied the donkey's feet to it, and raised the pole and the donkey to their shoulders. They went along amid the laughter of all who met them, until they came to Market Bridge, when the donkey, getting one of his feet loose, kicked out and caused the boy to drop his end of the pole. In the struggle, the donkey fell over the bridge, and his 4 feet being tied together, he was drowned. "That will teach you," said an old man who had followed them. Now you are required to answer the questions that follow. These questions are on page 45 in your English workbook. Answer questions 1 to 7. Question number 1 is requiring you to explain the meaning of words. Be free to use the dictionary or ask for help. Thank you very much.